Today we will see how to create a brush in Cinema4D and then use it in Photoshop. So let's get started. We'll go to Add Cube Object and choose a platonic object from there. Next, let's go to Add a Bend Object and take a displacer. We'll bring the displacer down as a platonic child. Click on the displacer, go to Shading, Shader, and choose Noise. Click on the thumbnail here to change the noise type, and under Noise, I'm going to choose an Over. Right now, we don't see a lot of changes here, but that's fine. Let's go back, up. Let's go to platonic and add some segments. Let's say 10 segments, and we instantly see a change in the shape. Let's go back to displacer, object, and I'm adding a strength of 200 and height of about 30. Let's go and hide the platonic object, and we go back to add a cube object, choose a sphere. So in radius we'll keep it to 3, and in segment we'll leave it back to 24. Let's go to add an instance, and then we choose cloner. Make sphere child of cloner. Go back to the cloner object. From mode, choose object and drag platonic into the object. And we immediately see the spheres getting distributed in small surfaces. We'll repeat this step again. We'll go back to add object. This time we choose a cylinder. Let's make the radius as thin as possible, so I'm choosing 0.1. Go back to add an instance object and choose cloner again. Drop cylinder as a child of cloner. Go back to cloner, change mode to object, drag the platonic under object, and under distribution from surface, let's add edge. And the moment we do that, we'll see this has become like this. What we need to do is do a scale on edge, and that's also one look that you can use, and just then scale the edge to 100%. If you want to reduce the number of lines here, you can go back to platonic and reduce the segments to, let's say, something like 5 or even lower than 3. I'm going to use 5 here in this case. Go back to cylinder, cloner.1, uncheck scale on edge and check it again, so this gets refreshed and updated. Once this has been done, we go to render settings, output. I'm making it a square object, so let's say 2500 by 2500. In the save option, I'm using an alpha channel and I'm hitting it render to view. This should not take a lot of time and should just create a render immediately. Once that is done, I go to file, save as, PNG. Okay, I'm just naming it as brush. Okay, and we're done here in Cinema4D. Let's switch to Adobe Photoshop. Let's open our brush. Here we will go to blending options. Under blending options, color overlay, and make sure the color overlay set is to black. If it's not, you can drag the slider, but I'm just leaving it as a black as it was. Set OK. Go to image, trim. You can use top left pixel color, which was default in my case. Choose OK, and the object is cropped edge to edge. Now the only thing left is to go to edit, define brush preset, and call it whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it C4D brush, and I say OK, and my brush is done. I come back, create a new window. Now going back to my brush, I will decrease the size by using the left bracket or increase the size by using the right bracket key on the keyboard. And now if I hold shift and drag to draw a straight line, my brush will be created. And that's how you create different brushes using Cinema 4D and Photoshop. Thank you.